Hey traders, and welcome back to some more trading insights with yours truly, Richard the Elliott Wave Jedi, serving traders responsibly here with Orbex. Now today I have something special for you. Let's say for instance we'll call it an insight on the pound, because the pound is in focus. Let's just jump on the economic calendar right here. As you guys can actually see, the main market movers for the day would be the ECB economic bulletin, which has been released right here, and the retail sales for Italy in the Eurozone has been, let's say for instance, the results have been a bit disappointing, and we have let's say a less than forecast, a decrease by 1.3%. So slightly bearish for the euro so far. Okay, now obviously the next and the most important event, let's say economic indicator, and the one in focus today actually would be the Bank of England, the Bank of England's interest rate decision. Okay, so let's say for instance the analysts are forecasting the interest rate to remain the same. Okay, as you guys can actually see, the votes are basically for none of the members of the MPC are actually voting for an increase. However, that's not the trick. The trick is the Governor Carney's speech and what he will actually mention in regards to the Brexit deal, no deal, and so on. As you guys know, there's a cloud when it comes to Brexit talks, and nothing is certain anymore. However, as I said, I do have something special for you guys today, and I'm just gonna jump on the pound, on a pound dollar on the daily time frame, because this is indeed a structure right here, and this could pass as a running flat. However, there is a possibility for an expanding flat, which would involve the pound dollar to just jump on the upside. If, however, Governor Carney's speech would be hawkish. So personally, I would incline towards a bullish pound for this week, and this is because this is exactly the moment where the pound could actually surprise. And I'm going to explain to you exactly what I mean by that. Now, if I would just continue on how the way I'm labeling this, let's say for instance, the pound dollar is approaching a very significant zone, a vibration zone, some Fibonacci levels, 50% to 61.8 of the entire rise from the 3rd of January this year. So by doing so, it is showing kind of a sharp correction, typically for a wave 2 correction. As you can see, I'm labeling minor 2 green right there. And this could actually, if it would gain support, this could push it towards the 161.8 or even 200% on the Fibonacci extensions from A and B, if indeed this would be an expanding flat. So let's just zoom in on the 2-hour time frame on the pound dollar, and as you can actually see, the way I'm labeling it is in an ABC, which obviously doesn't have the 5-wave sequence. However, if it is an ending diagonal in intermediate C green, then it would. So I'm not giving up on the pound yet, okay, unless it would actually breach, let's say for instance the 61.8, which would be something more of a bearish sign, I would say. So until further notice, I'm still inclining towards a possibility for this bullish divergence to take on effect. So the rise, the way I'm labeling this 3-wave sequence is in an A, simple structure right there. So minute A blue, and then the retracement, let's say this corrective structure in the B wave in minute B blue, which appears to be a running flat, followed by the 5-wave sequence, clean impulsive move on minute C blue, and thus completing that minor 1 green that I talked about earlier. And the way it actually slides on the downside, this is kind of looks corrective, and we'll be correlating this with other pairs, some cross pairs, let's say, on the pound, so we can get more details on the actual pound, let's say, most likely direction, technically speaking. Now, If I would just continue, the way I'm labeling the drop would be in a complex structure, double free, so W and then X right there, and then A, B, and I cannot stop noticing this 5-wave sequence on the downside. And by using the Fibonacci extensions from this, right, we can actually notice that they are actually synchronizing with a 38.2 of the entire rise, okay, of minor 1. So 150%, 161.8 of W and X, thus determining the possibility of the end of Y, synchronizes so with the 161.8, which is synchronizing with the 38.2. Not only that, but the A and B of the Y is actually synchronizing for the end of C of the Y with the 161.8 right there. So as you guys can see, this is a vibration zone. Where Fibonacci measurements actually meet there, okay? So on the cherry on top of the cake would actually be the bullish divergence that we actually see on this time frame. So multiple technical points are lining up, let's say, for the pound to possibly go bullish, let's say, today. Wouldn't really expect the pound to go bullish on the interest rate decision, not to say that there will be a rate hike or something like that. However, it's, as I mentioned before, it's the tone of Governor Carney's speech today and what he will mention in regards to Brexit, right, and the deal and the most likely outlook. So the tone, I would expect it to be hawkish, but the rate, I would expect it to be to remain flat. Now, this is just my 2 cents. You guys are grown people. You can make your own decisions. But however, the technical aspect is actually telling me something, right? So let's just attempt to correlate all these with the others. Now, if I would just jump on the euro pound on the 4-hour time frame, as you guys can actually see, the way I'm labeling the rise would be in an A, B, and an ending diagonal in the C leg, and this by using the Fibonacci extensions. From A and B, we have 100% possible end of C. Not to mention that from 1 and 2, we have 100% of free, and then 161.8 lining up with the 100% right there. So this is indeed, again, a possible reversal zone for this minor 4, where minor 5 could start on the bearish side. So correlating GBPUSD up, EURGBP down works just fine so far. Let's just continue with the pound Swiss. For another correlation, the way I'm labeling this corrective structure is in a wave 4 complex WXY as well. Some would treat this as a bull flag, okay? And this kind of, let's say for instance, maybe it wants to tag the 38.2 default measurement for wave 4, by the way, and the level is 1.2850. And we'll keep an eye on that because I would expect that to possibly go bullish from there for the 5th leg, thus wanting to tag these Fibonacci levels that I previously mentioned on this, right? Now let's just continue with and end this with the pound yen, which is also showing a possible corrective pattern, which could actually finalize around the 50 or 61.8% of this entire rise in an ABC. As you can see, the way I'm seeing the pound is possibly moving towards a C-leg impulsive structure, possibly an ending diagonal in each and every type of, let's say, pair when it comes to the pound, right? So crosses and etc. So as you can see, the pound could surprise today. What it will do, we shall wait and see. Once we have more details, I will be reverting and basically coming back to this view later on. But that's enough for today. Thanks a lot for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please support it with a thumbs up. And don't forget to check out the latest news on the Orbex blog, check out my articles, join the new webinars, and so on. We'll be here all day, every day for you guys. So thanks a lot. Once again, as I like to say to all my traders, until next time, stay in the green and many pips ahead.